Welcome into CHGO Bets Daily, coming to you live from Studio B of our CHGO offices here in the West Loop of Chicago. Forgot where I was. I'm your host, Sean Anderson. You can follow me at Sean_W_Anderson. Alongside me is Cody Delmendo, my partner in degeneracy. You can follow him at Cody_CHGO. We are excited to be bringing you this episode. We're going to be talking about the wild card round of the MLB playoffs. First off is at 2 p.m. Texas at Tampa. Jordan Montgomery versus Tyler Glasnow. Toronto at Minnesota at 3:30. Kevin Gausman versus Pablo Lopez. Arizona at Milwaukee, 6 p.m. Brandon Pfaadt versus Corbin Burns. And Miami at Philadelphia at 7 p.m. Jesus Luzardo versus Zach Wheeler. Cody, I don't want to talk about this. You don't want to talk about this. It's playoff baseball time. Yay! Neither of our teams made it. Yay!
Baseball's dead to me.
Baseball's dead to us. Yay!
I should put my Shady Rays on.
You could. I know you got picks for this game. I think the one game that intrigues me the most
Hiding my pain
is Toronto and Minnesota because I really like Kevin Gausman. I really, really, really love Kevin Gausman. So let me preface everything else that I'm going to say by saying that I really love Kevin Gausman.
Okay.
We ranked all of the teams that we want to win the World Series yesterday on CHGO White Sox, and I gave my ranking. 12th, I had the end of the world. I would rather see the world end than see the Minnesota Twins win a playoff game, let alone the World Series, let alone a playoff series. However, apparently, Pablo Lopez, the starter, showed up to Target Field today in a throwback Twins jersey, in a throwback Johan Santana jersey. That's his former childhood hero, and it's the last starter who won a playoff game for the Minnesota Twins. I hate to say it, it seems like a day to bet on the Twins. I didn't say that, actually. You didn't hear that from me.
That's a massive narrative bet. I mean,
who do you like to win the series? I know you made some bets. You threw in some picks for today.
I like Toronto to win that series. The Twins, you guys' division stinks.
Right.
I will say I feel like the Blue Jays kind of underperformed this year.
Mm-hmm.
Vlad Jr. had a down year for his standards, so I'm honestly a little sus about their offense, but I do like the pitching, so I feel like they'll hang in there with the pitching, but they should go into Minnesota and win the series easily to me. I am not putting any of my faith in the Minnesota Twins with a Carlos Correa who's had a not good year. I don't care. If they prove me wrong, then they prove me wrong. But I like the Blue Jays to at least win the series. Maybe the Twins win a game. Maybe they finally win a playoff game. How long? It's been since I was 11 or 12 years old since they won a playoff game.
Yeah. Wait, 1 second. Oh man, that doesn't happen often. Oh boy. Yeah, last time the Twins won a playoff game, 2004 against the Yankees. And here's their playoff history because it's so fun to read. 2003, they lost 3-1 against the Yankees. In 2004, they lost 3-1 against the Yankees. In 2006, they lost 3-0 against the A's. And then in 2009, they lost 3-0 or got swept by the Yankees. In 2010, they got swept by the Yankees. In 2017, they got swept by the Yankees. In 2019, they got swept by the Yankees. And then in 2020, they got swept by the Houston Astros, but close enough.
So they've lost a ton of games in a row. So I guess one might say they're due.
I think they're due.
I will say that their matchup is better than when they had faced those Yankees or the Astros team. I'll give them that much. Maybe they win a game, but I still think the Blue Jays pull this out.
I think they got enough pitching to win games. You got Gray and you got Lopez, so I really do think that those two can win one of those games, and then Maeda is a pretty decent third-game starter. Before we get too far, I know Cody's got a long shot parlay with some series winners. He's got some picks for tonight, but we are being presented today by our friends over at Circus Sportsbook. They have tight money line splits, low hold model, and basically they strive to have games be -110, an even split, unless it's a fairly different rating matchup, right? You look at the odds for the Rangers and Rays right now. You get the Rangers at +134. You can get the Rays at -147. The tool that I use to find out the best odds. That is, oh, hi Joey.
Sorry about that. I had Greg Braggs' unmistakable voice coming through my speakers.
And we don't need to hear Greg. But we do need to hear more about Circa. You look at the game we just talked about, the Twins and Blue Jays, minus 118 to plus 108 on that game. Again, one of the better odds on the board right now for bettors, and they are now live in Illinois. And the biggest thing, too, is they are transparent. They don't limit players based on their winnings. So if you do go on a hot streak, you're not going to see, like some other sports books, you are only allowed to bet 28-11, right? They are allowing you to be a gambler. And if you think you have an edge, if you think you have the right side, Circa is not going to slow you down. And every player has the same limits, unlike other books, again, who do not limit winnings. And they also encourage bettors to download and explore all sports betting apps available to compare lines from each sports book. So if you do see a better line, hey, Circa wasn't able to, get you that line. But Circa is where I go to check basically those are the glory odds, basically. Those are the holy odds. That is, if you're looking for at least the truth, I think, in sports betting, what the real odds are, go to Circa. You could check them out, and if they got the best number, you're not going to be limited to bet money on Circa. So download the app today. Download Circa Sports Illinois at circasports.com/Illinois-app. That is www.circasports.com/Illinois-app to sign up today. Also be on the lookout for Circa events, watch parties, and tailgates. They got one today at 5:30 at Old Crow over in Wrigleyville. And I believe tomorrow there is a grand opening party up at the Temporary in Waukegan. So if you are going to a Brewer game, it's a great stop either on the way there or on the way back. And if you are someone... If you or someone you know may have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2573. Text GAMB to 833-3234 or visit areyoureallywinning.com. We went to Circa. It was an amazing experience. It is a religious experience, I think, to a bettor.
Oh yeah. Well, just anyone who wants to enjoy life, because Stadium Swim was just the best.
You don't have to bet to enjoy Circa Swim or a Stadium Swim.
Yeah.
But make sure you're downloading the Circa app. It just launched this weekend. So make sure you're downloading the Circa app, sign up. And again, it is, I think, a necessity if you want to be a serious gambler, if you want to be a real gambler. Again, Circa is all about real gambling, about being the outlet for true bettors, and we are so happy to have them in Illinois. All right, what picks you got for me, Cody?
Oh, I have two actual future plays, and then I just put a long shot parlay for the wild card series. It's a 4-legger of just who I think is going to win the series. Let's start with Phillies minus 1.5. And that's on the series. So for them to sweep the Marlins, basically, it's at plus 170. Marlins creeping into the playoffs. Got in, 2 days before the season ended. Phillies have been locked up for a while. And honestly, to me, the Marlins got in just because the Cubs fucking shit their pants. So give me the Phillies here. Obviously, they played each other a ton this year, but the Phillies are easily the more talented team. They have more playoff experience. The Marlins pitching isn't nearly as good. Again, I'm taking it at 1.5, so I get it at plus 170. If you take the Phillies to just win the series, I believe it's around minus 190 on DraftKings Sportsbook or on Circa, wherever you use your apps, right? I for better odds, I personally think the Phillies sweep here just because they have the playoff experience. They're more rested, and they have better players. Far none. And again, the Cubs shit their pants, so that's the only reason they're there. And then the other one, I have the Diamondbacks to win the series against Milwaukee at plus 135. This is one of those plays of the team just got hot at the right time. Diamondbacks have been one of the hottest teams in baseball. Unfortunately, to my own demise over the last 3 weeks. Last 4 weeks, honestly. Zach Gallen's not starting today. I assume he's going to – I haven't looked at how they're setting up the rotation, but Brandon Woodruff is not going to pitch in this series. So Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly, I assume, are going to pitch Game 2 and potentially Game 3. So if Milwaukee doesn't win Game 1 with Corbin Burns, I feel like they're in trouble.
That's correct, too. Brewers haven't announced Game 2 or Game 3 starters yet. Fought Gallen Kelly.
I assume Freddie Peralta will be pitching one of those 2 games after today,
and Colin Ray will pitch Game 3.
I just like the Diamondbacks lineup more than I do Milwaukee's. Corbin Carroll's going to win Rookie of the Year. Ketel Marte is honestly, I feel like he's a little underrated. No one talks a lot about him. Tommy Pham's been a godsend for them since he came over in that trade. I can't believe I said nice things about Tommy Pham. Christian Walker, no one talks a ton about him. He hits bombs. And then when you look at Milwaukee's lineup, it's Christian Yelich and William Contreras, and then everyone else, in my opinion. Like, it's those top 2 guys and everyone else for them. I think the Diamondbacks lineup's a little bit more deeper, a little bit more. There's a lot more reliability there, I think. And the only reason Milwaukee is a favorite to win this series is A, they have a higher seed, 2, because they're playing at home. And they have the better. They probably do have the better starting rotation, even without Woodruff. Because for the Diamondbacks, you feel good about Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly. Sure, he's had a very good season, but he's not an ace. Even with just Burns and Peralta, I think that's still better than what the Diamondbacks got. But I think if the Diamondbacks can win today, they can win this series with Gallen tomorrow. So I'm a big Diamondbacks fan today. But again, the reason I like them is I just think they have a better offense.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good pick. I thought that there's a boost on DraftKings for a 25% profit boost, and I was thinking about doing the Brewers money line just because, again, they have Corbin. But I don't know. I think that actually honestly plays into the Diamondbacks' favor. They can kind of see a path to victory, you know, and I saw the Diamondbacks recently take on the Sox, and early on they were trying to bunt and score runs. Like, they were trying to put it on and make the Sox play from behind. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Brewers or the Diamondbacks try to get out to an early lead here.
The Diamondbacks, like last season, not like last season, but the Diamondbacks are the 6th seed for the National League this year, which the Phillies were the 6th seed last year. And I wish there was a way to place it, because I would love to place a small wager on the Diamondbacks to reach the National League Championship Series.
You can do that?
I couldn't find it.
Really?
Like, just to reach the National League Championship Series. It's more like the only markets that I've been able to find are on, matchups, like guessing which matchup you'll get in the National League Championship Series or World Series, but there's nothing on just getting there. And so, it's a very big long shot. But again, I think the Diamondbacks are kind of like, they're playing their best baseball of the season right now. They struggled out of the All-Star break, and then they really turned it on in September and got back to how they were playing the first half of the year. So I'm going to ride the hot hand with that, because I just think Milwaukee is just a bunch of frauds.
I think Milwaukee's a bunch of frauds too, and honestly, I think Brandon Pfaadt's been a lot better than people make out to.
He was good against the Cubs in Arizona. He was good against the Sox the other day. His season-long numbers aren't great, but he's definitely pitched well of late. Yeah,
and since he went down after his first struggles, came back after July, and he's been better against right-handers, over 25% K rate, against lefties, over 26% K rate. Very balanced splits when you look at him without filtering. Near 800 OPS versus both lefties and righties. But it does seem like he's been able to take care of lefties more. So I think that this is a guy that's kind of settling in, and I do like the Diamondbacks tonight. I think people look at that pitching matchup, but honestly, I think that it plays into the Diamondbacks' favor because all the pressure's on the Brewers, and the Diamondbacks understand the path to victory. So I'll take the Diamondbacks. Any final picks? You good?
Well, again, my long shot parlay that we've hinted at. So obviously, I love the Diamondbacks and.
Best number on the Diamondbacks at circa plus 156.
Nice. So I like the Rangers to win the series against the Rays. I like the Blue Jays over the Twins, and like the Diamondbacks over the Brewers, and then the Phillies to beat the Marlins. So if you do a 4-leg parlay, that brings it out to plus 1510. I use a little boost over on DraftKings Sportsbook to get it at plus 1888. So, yeah, those are the four I think win those series. And here's the hope, and I'm right. I'm sure that I will not be right, but $5 will win you $99.
Let's go. All right. So there's your long
Let's see
shot.
who I think's gonna win the wild card series.
All right. So those are Cody's picks for the next four series. We'll see how it plays out. I do like the Diamondbacks. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't have a really good beat on any other series here. But we do know that you can go bet over it with our friends at Circa. I'll take Diamondbacks money line, and I'll take Twins money line.
Of all,
why not? I'll boost it, and I'll take
of
the Twins
the teams
money line.
that are like underdogs to win their series, which would be the Diamondbacks and the Rangers. I probably like the Diamondbacks more, but for some reason, I just don't feel good about the Rays with no Wander Franco and didn't want.
Oh, they have a ton of injuries. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they had another starter who just got hurt too.
The guy who replaced Franco Basabe is out. He stayed today, and Luke Rayleigh's out.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I know it's the Rays, and they, Randy Arozarena turns into God in October, but I don't know. I just feel like it's the Rangers' time to make some noise. They've been building for the last handful of years, and they had a really good season. So
Brandon Lau's out as well, second baseman. Calvin Fauché is out. So yeah, I mean they are.
I don't like
up.
that Jordan Montgomery is starting game one, but whatever.
Hey, we'll see what happens. I mean, I think that Glasnow too is just a guy that he's either going to strike out like 15 or he's going to give up like 4 home runs. Yeah. So that's a tough guy to tail there. That's Cody Delmendo. It's so hot in this room. You can follow him at Cody_CHGO. I'm Sean. You can follow me at Sean_W_Anderson. Go listen to the Cubs podcast at 1:20 and the Sox podcast at 3:30. And I think the Bears is still going on. So catch the end of that right now over in Studio A. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you to Joey for producing the show. Goodbye.